I have a problem and I need you guys to keep me accountable, which is why I am today going to be unhauling a bunch of books live. And yeah, I don't do live stream that often. So yeah, just got this random thought today. Why don't I just jump online, show you some books that I want to be able to fit on the shelf? And yeah, I need to get rid of books. And I already have a huge stack and I need to remove more. But I have some exciting announcements first. Firstly, if you have any questions, I mean, this is a very, very spontaneous live stream. I don't expect that many people to show up, which is absolutely fine. But if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments now. And I'm live streaming from my office. We just bought a booster. I moved my table. My whole setup is in here, which is great. And are you guys? I'm so excited about this. And we literally 10 minutes ago we finished this. So bear with me, okay? I have lights. I have LED lights. I love it. And yeah, I still need to make some minor adjustments and so on. And also, this wall doesn't look that great. We can see the door. Maybe I should get like a nice poster on the wall or something. How cool would that be? Yeah, I mean, at the moment, it does look nice, but it's a work in progress. You guys, the 30 of you are the first ones to see the lights. So, yeah, really good to see you all. Hello from Greece. And yeah, I didn't expect that many people. Also, one thing before we start this major Unhaul, well, I have an announcement. If you didn't catch the announcement, I launched a book club. So at the moment, for this month, it's open for everyone. We have discussions on my Discord server. We're reading Things of the Wild. This was randomly chosen by a patron of mine. So if you're in tier 3 or 4, you get the chance to choose the book that we read every single month. So basically, you get to put a book forward, and then it just randomly choose a book. So Kings of the Wild, this was the book that I was least hoping to read, but I read the first 100 pages and I really enjoyed them. So yeah, I made a video about that if you're interested. But so far, it's not bad actually. And I did have another announcement. Oh yeah, I hit more than 30,000 subscribers, which is mad. So thank you so much for the support. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I don't really have any specific goals for this year, but it would be good to maybe 40. I know it's only 3 months, so we will see. And before I show you some book mail, I also want to thank my Patreons who support me. Since I launched the Viking Book Club, I've seen so many new Patreons, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, but without further ado, let me show you some of the books I want to be able to fit on the shelf before I move onto all the books I've already discarded, and I need to find more. So we will go looking through the shelves later on. And in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them. We have a lot of people here. Hello, hello, and Caden, hello, good sir. We have people from the UK and Panama, and your excitement is contagious. I'm not that excited, to be honest, about removing books from my shelf, but yeah, living in well, I'm not a student anymore officially. I started my new job today, which is mad. But having been a student for 4 years, it's not like I have that much space. It is what it is. Oh, that looks so cool. Thank you for your last lights. Unhaul the Sanderson leather bounds. I dare you. If you pay me good money, I'll do it. But otherwise, they will say these are my favorite books. No, are they my favorites? One of my favorite books for sure. They're all signed. I adore them. We have people from Tucson, Arizona, and hello from Greece. Yeah, great to see you guys. So some of the books I want to be able to get on my shelf. So I'm not sure if you can see. It's a bit blurry, but I have a very nice Joe Abercrombie shelf behind me. These are all signed. Some of them are special editions. And I recently received The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie. This is actually my favorite standalone I read. I need to read Red Country. It's the Broken Binding edition. They never miss with these. We have a nice end paper. This is also signed and numbered. And very nice art on the naked hardback. And obviously, I need to get this on my Abercrombie shelf, but at the moment, I don't have space. So this is first priority. I want to get this on my shelf for sure. So yeah, that is definitely on the agenda. And we have Lynn. Any plans to come to Utah for Dragon Seal? I would love to. I mean, I just don't have the money. But my dream is to come to the United States. Out of all the countries in the world, weirdly enough, coming to America is a dream of mine. And I think it's because, well, I've heard it's so diverse, it's huge, it's massive. But my plan is, if I ever come to the United States, I'll lose 10 kilos, exercise loss, eat healthy, and then I'll go to America and I'll just become fat. Because I've heard Americans know how to make fat food and barbecue and stuff like that. So that is my plan. We have people from Netherlands. How's your time in Spain? It was absolutely wonderful. Video came out today with Isa, if you haven't watched it. But the other book, I have 5, 6, 7 books I want to get on my shelf. Next one is a book I received today, The Water Outlaws by S.L. Huang. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Again, I know people always talk about spread edges, but this is like very nice. This is from Inkstone, which is a relatively new special edition company. They very kindly sent me this, so thank you so much. And this doesn't have any like art on the negative hardback, but let me just, where is it? It is signed and stamped and numbered, which is quite cool. I actually haven't heard much about this book, but we have some authors on the back like Patrick Rothfuss, Shelley Parker Chan, Kate Elliott, talking highly about this book. And this is a beautiful cover, and with these edges, it just looks awesome. So definitely a book I want to keep on my shelf. So what else? We have more special editions, and here we have 2. I'll just show you them both at the same time. No! Oh my gosh. I just destroyed. That was painful. Fortunately, the dust jacket is hard. Okay, never show 2 books at the same time. Okay, let's take this off. Make sure that I didn't destroy it. Okay, it looks fine. It looks fine. Oh man, someone needs to edit that clip where I lost the books, because that was painful. Okay, let me just put this on. No more disasters tonight, okay? I can drop the books I'm unhauling, but not the books I plan to keep. Oh man. Okay. It looks all right. I can feel a small crease. You can't even see the book. I can feel a very, very small crease, but you can't see it. So it's fine. And okay, where were we? I almost dropped my heart there. The Wolf of Oren Yarrow by K.S. Villoso. Definitely mispronouncing that. Also from the Bergen binding. I haven't heard much about the series, but these are gorgeous. Like the end paper, you can't really see it. Like it's very, very like detailed. I think it's by Katrina Paints, which has become one of my favorite illustrators. And I need to show you the naked hardback. Okay, look at this. I mean, I just adore this. So she made a similar design for the Winning Flame trilogy, one of my favorite trilogies. I also have it in the back there. This is absolutely stunning. So feels like an underrated series. I haven't heard many people talk about the series. I know Matt, who is the owner of the Broken Binding, loves the series. I apologize if you hear like paper noises and stuff on the mic. Okay, the first book is safe. The book I dropped, which is the sequel to this trilogy, and there's a very, very small crease here and here now, because I mean, when I dropped it on the floor, you couldn't see it. It was, oh, it looked like I had like tore the whole thing off, but it actually looks all right. And I don't think this is gonna be a trilogy that is gonna be like massively worth a lot of money in the future, because it's like, not that many people know about it, but it's fine. No one's gonna notice except the 50 of you that watched me drop this special edition on the floor. But here we have the art. Absolutely beautiful. The edges are also made by Katrina Paints. Very, very cool end paper. So I think these are so beautiful. And the fact that not many people have read them or talked about them, it makes me intrigued. So I'll definitely like keep hold of these. Thank you so much to Broken Binding for sending me these. These are absolutely incredible. Apologize, Matt, and the Broken Binding for dropping this precious book on the floor and almost destroying it. But it looks fine. And at least people will think I have read it now. I have just one more book that I really want on my shelf. Let me just look through some of these comments. I'll take anything, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these books, I've been considering if I should sell them, but a lot of them are worth like £2 or £3. It's just too much work, really. Very nice art this book has, very much, yeah. No idea why I dropped it, man. I'll take your hands, take it off your hands. I'll take your hands. I'll take it off your hands, apart from the Abercrombie books. We have 50 people here. I expected like 10 of you, so thank you for showing up. America is great to visit, but awful to live in, lol. Yeah, I don't know about that. Canada, we have people from all around the world. Thank you. Yeah, if you haven't watched today's video with Fun Fantasy Books, It's lots of fun. We have Northeast England, and oh no, my heart stopped for half a second. If you had seen the scene on the floor, you would literally have cried. 40 people just felt pain in their hearts. Oh, I'm usually always so careful with my special editions. I have no idea. I dropped it like that. Hi, Dan is one of my patrons. Thanks for showing up. And Kate, I loved your videos with Isa. Threadlight is so underhyped. Did you back the Letterbound trilogy? It's going to be my first Letterbound. So actually, Zach, I was one of the first social media, what should I even call it? He's basically sending me a free copy because I showed the trilogy a lot of love when it was very early on, before this third book had come out and stuff like that. And that is very, very kind of him. So it looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, the Velosa books are gorgeous. I don't know why I dropped them. My heart jumped when you dropped the book. I almost cried. I almost also cried. And I did it on live. Did it in 4K. You're not supposed to drop them. I swear, like 15 other people that showed up since have no idea what we're talking about, but I literally dropped this special edition on the floor and almost tore the leather jacket. No, sorry, the dust jacket, but surprisingly strong. And the special edition of 4K. Yes, I do. Do you guys want to see it? I have no idea why I was, I think, the first one in the world to have this, because no one else seems to have this book. Here we have it. How beautiful is this? And look at these. Yeah, I'm not going to show the whole case. I'm very scared of dropping it now after what just happened. Incredible A paper. This is signed. So I actually did an ad, a sponsorship for this Kickstarter back 6 months ago. So they did pay me for it, but it was also part of the deal that they would send me a copy. So also just being transparent, I didn't pay for this one. So this is it's called a promo edition. So that might be, the paper is, you can't see it on camera, but it does have like a bit of like gray shading. So I'm not sure if this is like an edition they were never going to sell, but nonetheless, it looks incredible. So yeah. I'll see if I might have to move the mic. How is this audio from here? Because I'll go back here. We'll see. Okay, the last book, a book that I wasn't planning. Oh, actually, I have two books I want to put on my shelves. Is anyone in the world able to say the title of this book on top of their head? Maybe Brandon Sanderson. The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. What is this title? So I'll be absolutely honest, I wasn't planning on reading this book because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews and so on. And it just seems to be very whimsical and fun, which I don't really have any problems with it. But Golans, they just sent me this copy. One day it just showed up. I didn't request it. This is the UK edition, and actually, it has a surprising amount of like mini illustrations in here, which is quite cool. I'm a huge Sanderson fan. I have a whole Sanderson shelf and half there. So yeah, it'd be nice to put this on the shelf, I think. Okay, and the last book I want to put on my shelf. We talked about the Winning Flame trilogy, Talon Sister by Jen Williams. So I actually recently finished this. You can read my full review on Goodreads. I am a huge fan of Winning Flame, and this book was, in typical Jen Williams fashion, it has absolutely absurd world building, but overall it felt a bit too slow paced for me, and I was slightly disappointed because it was so slow. And when you have a very slow paced book, you expect the climax to be incredible, and I just didn't feel the payoff was there. But book 2 could be incredible. So yeah, we will see. And okay, I have a tower of books now. I'll show you the books I'm unhauling, and I'll need to go quickly through these because I have 20 books and I need to remove at least 7 from my shelf. Hey, Johan, planning on starting Discworld soon. So I read 2 Discworld and then 2 other non-Discworld books by Terry Pratchett. I enjoyed Mort. I didn't enjoy the other ones. And I've just come to realize that absurdist fantasy and comedic fantasy is just not my cup of tea. The Great Codes, didn't enjoy it at all. Black Tongue Thief, didn't enjoy it at all. Whenever a book becomes too fun, I just don't enjoy it. And that was why I was hoping this book wasn't going to be chosen, because most people say that this is a very fun fantasy. But I'm enjoying it so far. We have people from Virginia. Please don't break Matt's books. Oh no. Sorry, Matt, if you're watching from the Break Binding. And what's the most surprising book on your TBR? What's the most surprising book? I'll have to think about that. It's probably some self-published book, I'm sure. and Toronto here. We have people from a lot of Americans. Man, where should I go to America? If I plan a trip to America, where should I go first? Like, I know America is so huge. You could literally spend a couple of years there just driving back and forth and traveling. But yeah, I don't know. People often do like just choose one state and just spend a month there because everything's so massive. Um, what's up? Hey, nice. James, he's my editor. He yeah, if you didn't know, I spend around, yeah, at the moment since I launched actually, I spent all my Patreon earnings on hiring an editor to do 2 to 3 videos for me a month. So if you want to join my Patreon, I spend my money on, I reinvest everything in my channel, and you can also access the Viking book club for next month. Hey man, you are live. Awesome. Yeah, it's not often I'm live. Okay, I need that. And have you ever tried some Warhammer books? I haven't. I know very little about Warhammer, but it seems to be quite entertaining books, very fun, lighthearted. I'm not sure if they're going to work for me, but I'm open for it. I know it's a huge universe. Okay, I'll show you some more books that I'm unhauling, and then I'll come back to the comments. I have a lot of books here. So we have Daughter of the Siren Queen by Tricia Levinsella. So the weird thing about being a reviewer is that every once in a while you'll get a book that you haven't requested. And the publisher contacted me and were like, hi, we are publishing this book. We would love to send you a copy. I looked it up. I believe it's YA. And I just said, thank you so much for contacting me. I am not planning on reading this book, but you can send it if you want. But I just heads up, I'm not going to read it. And they were like, that's fine. We'll send it anyway. So I got this book, and it's been a year. I haven't read it. Have no plans on reading it, and it needs to go. I'll just throw the books on the floor. Oh, there's another book I need to get on my shelf. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books I need to get on my shelf. The other book I need to get on my shelf before I show you the other books. This Beast, 11th Cycle. It's been on my shelf before, but I took it off, and yeah, I've heard mostly very great things about this one. But yeah, it's a self-published beast. So yeah. Okay, where were we? Yeah, a book I'm definitely unhauling. If anyone wants to buy this, send me a message on Instagram. I will happily sell this for a relatively cheap price. This is the most recent Goldsboro book I received. So I'm subscribed to Goldsboro. They're not sponsoring me or anything. It's a very nice book with special spread edges. House of Marion by J.L.E. It has a nice art here. It has a nice naked hardback. It's signed and numbered, but the description it's not up my alley. I know I'm not going to enjoy it. So if anyone wants this signed and numbered special edition, you can have it. Okay, I'll sell it to you. Yeah. Okay, I'm ready to make people angry. And fortunately, these books are quite cheap. So if I ever want to buy them again, I can buy them relatively cheap. But I need more shelf space. Don't unsubscribe, okay? My lesson needs to go. I've tried the series twice with 2 years in between. I made 4 videos about my lesson. You guys know that. I've been wanting to love this series so much, but it just hasn't worked for me. And maybe in 2 years' time, I might feel like calling again, and then I'll just buy these used, and it'll probably cost me like £7-8. So since it might take 2 years before I get back to it, if I ever do, I don't see the point of having it here. So I'll donate it to my charity shop. Someone else can pick this up, and hopefully their lives will be changed. And yeah, these are also secondhand anyway. They're like in bad shape. So yeah, they need to go. Oh, sorry, my lesson fans. It has to happen. I'll just throw the books on the floor. All right, yeah. Speaking of this random book they sent me, they also sent me the sequel. I'm not sure if this is duology or what, but yeah. Since I'm not reading the first, I'm definitely not going to read the second. So yeah, these are gone. Okay, so sometimes self-published authors also send me books, which I am always so grateful for. I usually decline most, like when people ask if they can send me books, because I don't want them to waste money on me if I know I'm not going to read their books. But this author, I knew I wanted to try their books because Daniel Green loved the books, and that is Gunmetal Gods by Samil Akhtar. I've been thinking if I should maybe do a giveaway or something, because he actually sent me this one. He sent me the sequel as well. And let me see if I can find it. Let me know if the audio is a bit unstable, because I know I'm moving around. And he also sent me the first book in this series, Light Blade. I don't know what it's called. This is actually a very nice self-published. Look at this. Art on naked hardback. So yeah, I read Gunmetal Gods. Let me just grab it so you can have the visuals. Where is it here? Gunmetal Gods. I absolutely adore this cover, and it is very, very unique, different. It's Middle Eastern steampunk, grim dark fantasy, and I personally call it dark fantasy, but he probably calls it grim dark. I read the first third of this book, and I love the world building, but this book was just too dark. It was sorry, it's vibrating. It was just too dark. Also, I have the fan on. Let me know if you can hear the fan. I'll turn it off if you do. It was just too dark. I didn't feel there was any hope. It felt very nihilistic. And I love Grimdark. As you saw in the beginning, if you were here, I have a whole Joe Abercrombie shelf. I love Grimdark. But this was just too dark, too depressing. And there's one scene that is just, it is so messed up that I just lost my appetite. And why am I unhauling this? So I haven't read many progression fantasies, but from what I've heard, Gunmetal God is a better work than this. From some of you for watching this, I haven't read this, so it's just what other people have told me, and this is a progression fantasy. So again, I haven't read many progression fantasies, but my experience with progression fantasy is Cradle, and I did not enjoy Cradle. Again, sorry if I piss a lot of people off with that one. So yeah, maybe I should just do a giveaway, like all 3 books. Could be an idea, but it's also tiresome to do giveaways. Every Sky a Grey by Jay Posey is also a book I'm getting rid of. I bought this at the Forbidden Planet for £1, which is mad, because this is a signed and numbered edition. So very, very cool. I haven't heard anything about the series, know nothing about it. I've seen a lot of people selling it for very, very cheap online. I'm not going to read it. It needs to go. And I don't think anyone's going to buy this from me because people are selling it for like £5 or £10 online. So maybe I'll just donate it to someone. And someone at a charity shop will maybe find a signed and numbered book, which is always quite fun. So another one I'm unhauling. I'll do 2 more, and then I will read some of your guys' comments, because I know there's been quite a lot of comments. The next book I'm unhauling is this Chronicles of Black Company by Glenn Cook. This is the first 3 books. I bought this at a charity shop for £2. The price is still on here, actually. So I was very excited to read this because this has inspired Stephen Erickson to write Molassin, which I know is not high praise for me because I didn't get into Molassin really. And let me just remove this. But I tried reading this book, and the first book it feels like it's a short story collection, but it isn't. And it's very, very disjointed. It's very dry. The characters are almost like caricatures, or they didn't feel real to me. And I just couldn't get through it. I read half of it. I like, it was a struggle from almost the first page. I had no idea what was going on. And I've heard book 2 and 3 are way, way better. But at the moment, I know I'm not going to read this. So maybe one day, but I bought it in a charity shop. I'll give it back to a charity shop. Okay, one more book before I read some of you guys' comments. So before you judge me, there is context here, but I am unhauling Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. I want to read this book, but I own the first, the Red Rising trilogy. You can maybe see in the background. And those are the American editions. This is the UK edition. I'm not sure why I have mixed editions, but yeah, I don't want to have mixed editions. And this one is just chunky. And yeah, it needs to go. Doesn't mean I won't read it. I will read it. I need shelf space. I need to be brutal. Okay, let me read some of your comments. Lunar Wolves, hoorah. That must be for the Wolf of Urinyaro I showed. So, being that you are in Spain, drink some. Well, I'm not in Spain anymore. That was actually recorded like 9 days ago. When you read a book of a trilogy, you read the whole trilogy, or do you break and continue after you read some fantasy books? So, yeah, I don't binge read series anymore. I used to do it, but since I started this, since I created Library of Viking, actually, I now have like books in between. I am quite good at completing series, but sometimes it takes me a bit of a while. But it's very rare for me to not read a series for like a whole year. Like if I start a trilogy, I'll usually finish it within 12 months. that's better than some. Well, I'm not saying it's better, whatever. Like you can read however you like, but I'm quite good at finishing series. But yeah, I usually read like a book and then pick up another series, and yeah, that way I progress. I recently finished like 3 series within a month, which was really weird because I'd read like the first 2 books in trilogies, and then I came a month and I just read the last book. Yeah, so that sometimes happens where I suddenly just finish a bunch of series in one go. Uh, Wakefield, yeah, that what I read. I'm not gonna list all the series I read this year. I read Red Rising, the original trilogy. I need to make a video about that one. Audio is okay, definitely great. Just let me know if it's the title is way too long. Yeah, that was for the Brandon Sanderson book. Oof, Sanderson. So many comments. Love Kings of Wild. Looking forward to Bloody Rose. Yeah, I've heard Kings of Wild is better than Bloody Rose, but hopefully you enjoy it. Not the best title. Yeah, for the okay. Let me see if the Frugal Wizard's Handbook to Medieval England. The the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. Okay, so I missed a word. It's just that title is crazy. Have you read Will of the Many? No, but I really want to. I own the Lacanius trilogy. I actually have a shelf in my living room where I sometimes bring books that I want to read but I haven't. I literally have a shelf where which is just filled with books I haven't read. So whenever I watch television stuff like that, I just look over to my shelf of unread books and they just stare at me. But they also remind me that I need to pick them up. I kind of want to read Lacanius first because it's finished, but I'm definitely pre-ordering that Break and Binding edition because yeah, people rave about this book and it looks great. If you don't like comedy, you don't like me. Oh, that is not true. I like you, John. Hello from Hungary. Thank you for joining. And if you like hiking, Michigan is great. I love hiking, actually. Texas is fun. Hi from Netherlands. We have a lot of people from New Orleans, National Park. Um, I'd love to. I would love to go. Oh, so I did ask people where they would recommend me going if I ever came to the United States, which I'm really hoping to. So people recommend different stuff. We have people from Canada. Hello. Look up Stormcrow Manor in Toronto. Ooh, that sounds awesome. Let me do a couple more comments before we continue this brutal unhaul. And I have so many more books on this table right here. If you do come to California, I highly recommend spending a week in Sequoia National Park. Ooh, I love national parks. Visit Canada. I've heard Canada is great, and actually, a lot of people from my church have family in Canada. So a bunch of them have literally just been. They say it's very, very underrated. They'll say it's massive. So yeah. And hi, Rachel. Thanks for joining. And okay, let me see if I have. There's so many questions. No, so many comments. So I'll just see if there's any questions before we continue this on haul. Have you read Combat Codes? Where is it? I have an arc, which I'm not unhauling. I really enjoyed this book. It might have just been perfect timing when I picked it up, but I just loved it. It literally consumed me. And I've been wanting to order the Broken Binding Special Edition, but yeah, financials and stuff, and also maybe space. I shouldn't buy all these special editions, but this was surprisingly good. It's a very, very good palate cleanser, so definitely would recommend. Broken Binding is supposed to be doing a special edition of 11th Cycle. Yeah, I've heard, but they announced it like 8 months ago. I don't know what happened. If you just got another shelf, your problem would be postponed. I know. I could probably convince my wife of another shelf. We will see. Send my wife messages and tell her to allow me to buy a new shelf. Get him. Okay, this was posted 10 minutes ago, so I have no idea what you're talking about, Andrew. But thanks for joining the stream. The last is the biggest letdown of my reading life. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna say it's the biggest letdown. I think Fourth Wing was worse. Broken Binding is supposed to do the special edition of the entire Malison series next year. Yes, I know. I am tempted. This is the thing with when you start collecting books, fantasy books. You hear the Broken Binding is making a special edition of Malison, and then you want to buy it, even though you don't like the series. Like, what is wrong with me? I know I'm not the only one. Like, what is wrong with everyone who can relate to me? Okay, I'll do 10 comments very quickly, and then we'll go through more books. Might as well throw the used books. Yeah. Oh man, that was painful. If you arrived late, I dropped the special edition on the floor, and I literally was this close to destroying the dust jacket. Fortunately, it survived. I won't send you any books. That's all right. And any recommendations to get out of reading slump? Maybe a standalone. Combat codes. I actually recommend this book to so many people. What a coincidence. Now, if they're in a reading slump, so this is part of a trilogy. It's just so fast paced. It's a great, great, great book. Read this. I don't hear a fan. Great. So yeah, just let me know if you start hearing it. Dark Matter Recursion. Great books. I read these recently. Oh, Dark Matter, my favorite book of the year. And let me show you, since I finally have my shelves behind me. Spread Edges. Read these two this year. Read Dark Matter in less than 24 hours. Favorite read of the year. Oh, I hear they're making a series. I hope it's just as good as this book. Incredible. And Recursion, I think just since I read Dark Matter first, I enjoyed it slightly more, but Recursion is incredible. Standalones, these are short. So there's 300 pages, but there's not much text on the page. So you can literally 200 pages. Incredible. So combat codes or these two for getting out of reading slump. Okay, let's do 5 more and I'll show you some books I'm destroying. Top 3 science fantasy books. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm reading Children of Time at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to embrace it. I love sprayed edges. No shame. I'm reading Children of Time at the moment. Look at these beautiful sprayed edges. This is honestly, it's the best. It's top 2 best sci-fi books I've ever read. I think Project Hail Mary, it just holds a special place in my heart. But this book, I have 50 pages to go. It is so good. And the weird thing is that the characters, I mean, the concept is at the forefront, which is usually like a thing that hinders me from loving a book. But in this case, it's just incredible. Children of Time, read it. It has scary spiders. It has intelligent spiders. It's pretty scary, but it's so good. So good. Let me. Okay. And I'll do 3 more, and then we're going to show more books. Have you thought of reading Daybed Trilogy? That was actually a book that one of my patrons put forward for the Viking Book Club, but it wasn't picked. So I might read it one day. 4 out of 5 stars for Gunmetal Gods for me. Yeah, unfortunately, I DNF'd it. I'm pushing the. Hey, wait. Whoa. That was so weird. Yeah. So this is Mel. She was the one that wanted me to read City of Brass. What a coincidence. About to go watch your videos with Isa. Watch it after this live stream, please. Okay, enough. There's too many comments. Some books I'm unhauling. I might try to sell this, see if anyone wants to buy it for £10 or something. Love Farseer Trilogy. I found this on a very good deal online for, I think, £10. So it would be nice to maybe just get the money back. It's used, but it's quite good condition. This is the illustrated edition. But I just have Royal Assassin. I don't have the other 2. And I shouldn't buy more books at the moment. So I'm unhauling this one. I think I'll try to see if I can sell it. It is absolutely incredible. So hopefully I'll one day have the whole set. But for this time in my life, I probably need to unhaul it. But I do have all the books here except the last book in the Realm of the Elderlings, which I'm pretty sure I once had, but it's been gone for years, so I don't know. But yeah, this is a very, very nice book. I think most of these books I'm just donating to a local charity shop, but maybe this one I'll try to sell. It's one of the very few books I think I'll actually sell. So okay, and so I'm almost getting to the end of the stack I already have, and then we need to go hunting on my shelf for some books. This trilogy, there is something wrong here. Let me just. Angry Robots, very kind to send me this trilogy 18 months ago. That's a very, very cool spine. Let me just, because the camera doesn't focus. Let me just get nice up and close. How cool is that? The camera settings focus on my face, so that's why I'm doing this. Very cool edges. This is a series that came out in the 80s or 90s, and Angry Robots republished it. So people call it a classic. It's not really a classic, but apparently it had its following back in the day, and it's republished. It has very, very cool edges, but I just don't think I'm going to ever get to it. It's been 18 months. I have too many books to read, and I think it's better to give this to someone that will read them and appreciate them. So thank you, Angry Robots, for sending me this. I really appreciate it. but it needs to go. Okay, we had 2 more books, and then I'm going to answer some of your questions. Oh, I only have 1 more book actually. And then I'm going to answer some of your questions, and then we're going to hunt for some books in the background. The Empire's Ruin by Brian Staveley. So this was actually a book that was sent to me as well when it came out, and it actually has, I'm not sure you can see it, it has a signed book plate that the publisher also sent me, which was very, very cool. Patrick Leo says that this book was just as good as The Way of Kings, which is pretty mad. It's a pretty, pretty bold statement. Now, why am I unhauling this book? Well, there is a series, well, now it's probably called a prequel series, or this is like a sequel trilogy or series. There's like 4 books at least you need to read before you can start on this series. That's at least in Patrick Leo's opinion. And I want to read it. It's called The Unhewn Throne, The Chronicles of the Unhewn Throne by Brian Staveley. I think there are 4 books you need to read before getting to this one. And I think I will one day pick it up, read it. I've heard great things. I've also heard very bad things. But yeah, I own book 5 in a series. It has a signed book plate, which is very, very cool. But look at that. If I want to get space for the 7 books that are on my table, I need to get rid of some real estate. So yeah, getting rid of this one is going to be a nice surprise for a person coming to the charity shop, picking up this book and seeing there's a signed book plate. So lucky whoever that is that picks it up. Okay, so those are the like 15 books that I had already picked out. But my issue is these books were chosen before, I have no shelf space. So we need to go looking for some books, and I need to be brutal. And the reason why I'm doing live stream is you guys need to keep accountable. I mean, if shipping was like very, very cheap, I'd love to just do a giveaway and give one person all of these books. But yeah, shipping would be insane. So let me read some comments. There's just too many, so I can't do all of them before we go hunting for some books that are gonna get moved. I don't know what's wrong with English. Okay, let's see. Ethan Young, definitely try them out. That was by the Reading Slump. Let me just go a bit further down. Cradle Sacrilege. Oh man, I read the first book. I thought it was alright, had potential. I could barely finish the second book. And I know people say it gets amazing at the third book, but I dislike book 2 so much. And it's not because it's like a inherently bad book. It's just very much almost like I can watch an amazing romantic movie, and still not enjoy it because it's not something I enjoy. And just reading about a character that's leveling up, it just didn't work for me. I'm so very disappointing. Maybe I'll get back to this someday because they're very quick reads. I think I'm subscribed to your channel. Hopefully. Let me see. Let me go a bit further down. Have you ever had a really, really good idea for a magic system? Tell us a tiny bit about it. I have no plans on writing a book, so unfortunately I can't help you with that. And hello, nice to meet you. What a series or book you regret? I don't think I regret reading any books, because even the books I hate, they allow me to understand which books work for me or not. It can be sometimes helpful to read a book that is not good. So I don't hate any books, and there's no book you regret reading. Even like Fourth Wing, which I thought was not a book for me. I didn't enjoy it at all. Made 2 videos about that one. But it allowed me to understand what people enjoy, and also allowed me to understand why I don't enjoy it. So we have people from Alaska here. We have people from Brazil. Thank you for showing up. Stop the hate on Fourth Wing. And we have Sweden. Vortingårde. Now that's more like Norwegian. Blake Crouch is a fabulous author. Absolutely. If you love comic codes, you should read Iron Prince by Bryce O'Connor. So yeah, that book has an insane amount of reviews on Amazon, but it's progression fantasy. But I need to read more progression fantasy because I don't really say yet that it's not a genre for me. So yeah, definitely need to give that one a go. And Bryce is also super nice. I worked a bit with him on some sponsorships. Children of Time is very clever. Yeah, guys, read Children of Time. It's gonna be in my top 10 at the end of the year. I'm pretty confident. It's blowing my mind. I'm just also amazed that I'm enjoying it because the characters aren't. I mean, they're relatively flat compared to some other fantasies and sci-fi books I read, but it's just incredible. I'm going to leave. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for being such a positive and good person. You admitted you're a Christian. I can tell. Love you, brother. Thank you for joining, John. I really appreciate it. Um, okay, should we? Let me do, because we have so many comments. Let me do 5 more, and we'll go hunting for some books. Hey, just got here. Love your videos. Thank you. And my favorite one so far is Horny Dragons. Wait, I have it somewhere. It was actually on my Unhaul stack, but I think it's probably, if I ever need to showcase it, it is here. The book that doesn't deserve is never going to be on my shelf. I'm going to lock it away somewhere, but I'm going to keep it. But yeah, glad you enjoyed my rant about this one. I'm actually, I'm going to experience, I would love to make longer videos, like rambling about books I read. Since I launched my book club recently, and I think we're going to do a more like a long rambling video about my thoughts about this one, because there's a lot of things to say. But usually those videos work really well in the YA sphere. Doesn't work as well in the adult fantasy sphere. We will see. I'll give it a go, and if no one clicks on it, then I know you don't want to watch those type of things. If you had to pick 5 books to have with you for the rest of your life, what would it be? I mean, as a Christian, I would obviously choose the Bible first. Can I just choose my Kindle? That's probably cheating. Oh man, this is like one of those things where maybe like Malazan, even though I didn't enjoy it, but it probably has like amazing reread value. You know, I had to think a bit longer about that, but yeah, I definitely would like choose the Bible and maybe Malazan. Very different books. My heart just stopped. You get rid of the illustrated Royal Assassin. I know, it's just because I don't have the other 2, and I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna get them, and I'm not really in a position where I should buy them. So, but they're beautiful, and if anyone wants these books, you can always message me on Instagram. I'll try to reply to you. Hello from Hungary. Sapolsk Pesi. Definitely butchering that name. Sorry about that. I'm in the middle of Shadow of Gods right now. Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Can you see it? It's there it is. One of the first books or special edition the Bergman did was a signed first edition of Shadow of Gods. And it's there. Love that book so much. Okay, I'll do 3 more. I know I said I'm gonna continue, but 3 more. Only read 2 Hobbs books, and they just didn't click for me. I totally get it. They're not for everyone because they're so slow paced. The writing style is relatively flowery, but yeah, I just love them. Any books that blend sci-fi and fantasy? Yes. Winning Flame Trilogy. I love that series. It does have some sci-fi elements and fantasy elements. Dune is science fiction, I know, and I need to really read that book because the first time I did get into the writing style. You just need another shelf. I know, and agreed. Okay, one more, I promise. Are you a fan of manga? I've seen tons of booktubers diving into some popular series recently, like Berserk and Monster. I've never read a manga in my whole life, and it's not because I'm a hater. It just hasn't happened. And I also think it's because I own so many books I need to read. Maybe one day. Okay, I'm gonna move the mic a bit so you can hopefully hear me. I need to get rid of at least 7 books. So let me find some. Okay, I could instantly find 2 books that I need to get rid of, and it's book galore because there's books everywhere around me. You can see it. First book I need to get rid of, and these are actually signed and numbered books. This book that I bought when Goldsboro was having a Christmas sale, and I was like, I could buy this book not for me, but it could be a good gift for anyone. It's been 9 months. I still have it, and if you look online, it's not worth that much. It has a slipcase. It has a bookmark. I didn't know that. It has a bookmark. This is a romance book, I think. Truly, Darkly, Deeply by Victoria Selman. It's signed and numbered. And does it have art? No art on naked hardback, but it has a slipcase. Quite a it's a nice book. A book I'm not gonna read. and I'm not sure whom I should give this to. If anyone is watching this, you want this book, message me. You can have it for £10, signed and numbered, slipcase, but it needs to go. I need to get some space. Another one is a book I went to a Goldsboro event, and they handed out these goodie bags, and they had like lots of bookmarks. And some of these goodie bags had books in them, and I got this book here, Red Noise by John P. Murphy, and I've never heard about this book in my life. I know that Ken Liu, one of my favorite authors, he's endorsing this book on the blurb. But yeah, this is a signed and numbered book. It's limited to 300 copies. And does it have a naked? Also has some art on the naked hardback. Red. Cool. I looked online. Almost no one has read this book. And yeah, I mean, it's cool to have a signed and numbered book. I haven't heard anything about this book. I'm not going to read it. It seems like a book that has a lot of humor. Needs to go. If anyone wants this, message me. You can have it for £5 or £10. We'll see. Just need to get rid of it, basically. Okay, so those are two. I still have a bunch of books I need to get on my shelf. So, okay. On the top shelf here, these are like sacred. I'm not going to get rid of any of these books. I know you can't see them that well. I need to go further down. So, or further up. Let's have a look. Okay, we have one more book for now. Okay, I have another book. Another book I'll probably try to sell. Well, this one I'm just gonna haul. Go to random charity shop. The Midnight Bargain by C.L. Polk. This is I found it in a charity shop a year ago. Very cheap, £1, and someone else is gonna get this book. The Atlas 6. I got an ARC original of this book. Did enjoy it. I actually met Olivia Blake a couple months ago. She was very, very nice. And yeah, I had this self-published edition. She signed it. Can you? Sorry, it's so bright. She did sign it. Yeah, I think you can see the signature. So this is a signed self-published edition of the Atlas 6, and this is a very, very popular book. So I think I will probably try and see if anyone wants to buy this book. So yeah, I might list that on eBay or something somewhere. Or if you want it, you can message me and we'll see. Okay, we need to get rid more of the. Okay, I see another book I want to get rid of. Let me just go and grab it. Okay, next book I discovered that I need to get rid of. The Gauntlet and the Fist. Beneath, that was called. Ian Green. I actually met this author as well at FantasyCon last year. I actually have an interview with him on my channel. Like I interviewed. Never mind. This book sounds like it's epic. It's fun, but I haven't heard much about it, and I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna get to it. So I need space. It's gonna go. This was very kindly sent to me by the publisher as well. I feel like maybe I should keep it. What do you guys say? Should I keep it? It's gonna go in my. Yeah. For now, it's gonna go in the stack where I'm unhauling it because I have too many books. Okay, some other books I need to get rid of. So very randomly, I have 2 editions of Sun and the Sands, and this is actually a self-published edition of Sun and the Sands. So this is a very, very rare book, but I also have this edition of Sun and the Sands. I have both. So this is the self-published, this is the traditional published. It's not a big difference, it's just the title. This one, let me see. It has a signed bookplate in it, which I think is quite cool. But this one is self-published, which is also quite cool. And it's very rare. I feel like I should unhaul one of these. But yeah, maybe I'll try to see if anyone wants to buy this. Because I know these are quite rare. And the reason why I'm thinking about like maybe I should sell off some of these is because if I generate some money, I can buy more books. I'm just creating a problem for myself. Okay, temporarily, this one goes back on the shelf. Wasn't a huge fan of this anyway, but yeah. Okay. What else? What else? Okay, I need to go down here. Behind me, I have like double stacked books. I need to go see if there's any book. Oh, I have another one here. Okay, I'm also unhauling this book. I've had it for more than a year. Cold from the North by D.V. Ross. This was very kindly sent to me by the author. It's a nice cover. It looks quite stunning. It's a very nice hardback. And look at this. It's actually a very nice self-published hardback. I've heard quite great good things about this one. Now, my issue here, when he sent me this, I told him I was interested in reading it, but I could make no promises I would ever get to it. And since then, it's been a year, more than a year. My TBR is out of control. And again, the good thing about unhauling books is that I'll give this away to someone else that hopefully reads it and loves it and appreciates it more than just being on my shelf and not getting any love, you know? This one has to go, and it's a hardback. So this is actually quite good. This allows me to get more space. Oh man, if you could see what is happening on the floor here, I have like 30 books now. Maybe more, I don't know. Okay, let me... Okay, I will I'll go on my knees and see if I can find any books hiding. Okay, love Stephen King, but I've heard very mixed things about this one. From a Buick 8, it's about a haunted car. People say, I mean, there's so many Stephen King books that I've heard are way better that I haven't read. And if I ever want to read this, I can probably find this very cheap. So, Unhaul, it's going to be heavy carrying all of these books to the charity shop. Let me see. I hate this. It's just getting harder and harder, but ooh, okay. Love this book. My favorite John Gwynne book. I think I'm gonna try and see if anyone wants to buy this for a relatively cheap book. This actually has spread edges and it's signed and numbered. So why am I unhauling my favorite John Gwynne book? It's because I already have a signed first edition on the shelf over there. So I have Shadow of the Gods and Hunger of the Gods signed first edition, so they match. I only have the Hunger of the Gods Goldsboro. I don't have the first book. And the first book, if I want to find it in Goldsboro, it costs like £300-400. It's impossible to find. I'm never going to get the first book Goldsboro edition. So I'll probably add this to eBay or something, see if anyone wants to buy this. If anyone watching here wants to buy it, send me a message. It's a very, very nice book. I don't need 2 copies of this one. So, yeah. Let me give you one last hug. Okay. It needs to go. And that is actually quite nice because this is a thick boy. So, it's going to definitely allow me to get some of these books that I showed you earlier. Okay. I see another book I need to get rid of. Okay, my favorite author, one of my favorite authors, Brando Sando Skyward. I don't think I'm ever going to read this. I still need to read Stormlight. I have 100, 200 books on my TBR. If I ever want to read this, I'll buy it secondhand online for relatively cheap. That'll probably not happen anytime soon. So in the meanwhile, why don't I just give it to someone else that'll appreciate it more? I'll find one more book and I'll look at some of your comments because I know there's so many of them. Okay, there must be some books here. Oh, it's so hard. Okay. I found another book. This one, When We Were Birds by Ayana Lloyd Banwo. So I also bought this at the Christmas sale from Goldsboro. This one has sprayed edges and it's signed and numbered. Very, very nice. I also thought this could be a good idea as a gift to someone. It's been 9 months. I still have it. I looked online. This book isn't worth much. If anyone wants it, signed, numbered, you can just let me know. I'll sell it to you for a relatively cheap buck. But yeah, it's not fantasy. It's not sci-fi. I think it's romance or drama or something, yeah, it has to go. I really need to go tomorrow with all these books because there is a mountain of books. Okay, we're getting there. I might have space for many of these, but let me read some comments because I know there's many and haven't looked at them for a good while. They're from Germany, from Iran. Nice to meet you guys. What's your favorite book in the realm of the Elderlings? It is Ship of Magic. First book in Livestream Traders Trilogy. It's my favorite book so far. Incredible. And I think Livestream Traders Trilogy, you can start with that trilogy. I know some people say that's like sacrilege. You need to read it in chronological order, but you can start with Farseer or Liveship Traders Trilogy, in my opinion. But after that, you need to go chronologically speaking. But you can start with the Mad Ships or Ship of Magic, my favorite Robin Hood book. Incredible. Gotta bounce. That's all right. Thank you for coming. If you ever read manga, I'm begging you to read Death Note. There's just so many. I have no idea where to start if I'm gonna get into manga. Hur mår du? How are you in Swedish? Any good book if you're reading some? I've already had this question, and I recommended Combat Codes or Dark Matter Recursion by Blake Crouch. Jag har det gott. My very bad Swedish. Tack för att du kommer till livestream. You probably didn't understand a word. I'm trying my best with Swedish. I'm definitely not very good. I can speak Danish. Hello from Hungary. Hello. Do you plan on writing your own books in the near future? So actually, to answer this, the answer is no. When the pandemic happened 2-3 years ago, I tried to see if I could actually write a book. So I read On Writing by Stephen King. The funny thing is that book convinced me that I wouldn't be able to write a book. I just don't have that creativity in me. So yeah, unfortunately. Get rid of any Abercrombie. No, love Abercrombie. I'm gonna keep it. I even have a signed paperback I could potentially get rid of, but no, love him too much. I'll buy your Cosmere leather bands for $20. The only way you're gonna buy these for $20 if you do it at a gunpoint, because I'm not selling these for $20. Good night. Going to read. Oh, Wisdom of Crowds, incredible. How would yeah, just send me a message on Instagram. I'll try to reply. And Thick Boy, and yeah, we love thick boys and cannot lie. No, not Skyward. Where did I? Should I keep it? The thing is, I am so easily manipulated when it comes to owning books. I bought this in a charity shop for £1. It's not like I bought lots of money. I could probably enjoy it, but again, like the rational part of my brain is like, I have 50 books on my shelves that I haven't read, and I have 100 books on my TBR at least that I don't even own that I'm more excited to read than Skyward, a YA sci-fi series, which I've heard is good, but I don't know. I feel like someone else should read it. Maybe I'll put that in my notes. Oh yeah, do that. I'll rebuy it. And I wish I lived near your charity shop. Yeah, sorry about that. If you live in the UK, I wouldn't have the strength to get rid of a book with spread edges. Oh yeah, I'm very fortunate to have this many books. So yeah, definitely don't take that for granted. But yeah, someone else can have them and love them more. Unhauling all the romance books. I see how it is. Maybe I should just make my channel into a spicy romance channel. Like those channels, they do quite well, better than adult fantasy. I did understand your Swedish. Awesome, Rick. Thank you. Det är väldigt gott. I feel like PewDiePie trying to speak Swedish here. Have you read Expanse by James S. Corey? I do have the first book on top of my shelf, and I'm not unhauling that because I want to read it one day. I'm so easily manipulated. Yes, buy more shelves if you want to anyway. There's no space in this room, so it has to go into our bedroom. So that will need to take some convincing. But my wife is very, very supportive of my hobby. New to the channel, so cool to find a Christian booktuber. Grace and Peace from Ohio. Just started Of Blood and Fire, loving it. Favorite non-fantasy book beside the Bible. Yeah, thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. Favorite non-fantasy book. I'm not sure what my favorite is. I read a book called Educated by Tara Westover, which is a brilliant, brilliant bibliography. So if you're looking for a good bibliography, Educated by Tara Westover is, yeah, incredible, really. And is it a YA sci-fi series site? Yeah, that is YA. So I used to own a copy of that one, but I unhauled it again because I just had too many books. Tip for someone who's easily overwhelmed when reading epic fantasy. So you need to read something that's a bit more character focused. Let me have a think. I think I always recommend Mistborn. I think that's just such a good entry point into adult fantasy. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Epic fantasy. Maybe you guys can help him out. Tips for someone who's easily overwhelmed by reading epic fantasy. It needs to be a book that doesn't have too many POVs. Like you could try the Farsi trilogy. It only has one POV, but it's very slow paced. If you're not really used to reading lots, it might be a bit too slow paced. I think The Faithful and Fallen is a great recommendation, but it has a lot of POVs. Okay, guys, help this Nick out. What is a good entry level epic fantasy where he can get more used to the genre? Give him some recommendations for sure. Expanse is awesome. I've heard great things. I'll definitely read it. Just finished First Law Trilogy. Such a good trilogy. Yeah, it is good. But Age of Madness, which is book 7 to 8, 7 to 9, it's the best. It's incredible. I love the First Law Trilogy, but Age of Madness is my favorite, one of my favorite series for sure. First Law is the best. I think it's great. I'm not sure if it's a good recommendation for someone that gets easily overwhelmed. Let me have a think about that one. Break the book down in small chunks. I also find doing audio along with physical. Yep, that is a good suggestion. Okay, I will find a couple more books and then I'm gonna wrap up because I have work tomorrow and I started a new job today, and I should probably maybe read some more books. Some more books. What is wrong with my English? I should read some more of Kings of the Wild for the Viking Book Club. And yeah, so if you have any questions, you have 2-3 minutes. Those are going to be the last questions, and then let me find some books. I'll get back. So let me have a look. Okay, I'm not unhauling this. If you're here, you're gonna. Oh, should I show this? Is YouTube gonna punish me with this? The Danish version. So it's changed now to Dune. But the Danish version of Dune used to be called. Should I even say this aloud? A book about a huge worm in a desert is called this. I just love this so much. Apparently, this is a book that's quite hard to find. I found it in a charity shop in the Faroe Islands, and I just couldn't believe that this was the title. Also, look at the picture. Oh, how is this real? I totally understand why they just call it Dune. The most hilarious part about this is it says this is the title, and then it says here Dune in Danish. Just to, because this is to say you spell this word we're thinking about this way in Danish. So I love that they had to clarify. We're not talking about this. We're talking about Dune. Oh, I love this so much. But yeah, I'm never unhauling this. This has brought me so many laughs. A worm on a dried desert planet is called this. It's too funny. Um, let me see. I need to get rid of like 2 books, and I think I need to maybe look at some of my Stephen King books. Because love Stephen King, but I own so many books by him, and they're quite easy to get hold of. You can buy them secondhand very easily. So I think I'm gonna find some Stephen King books. Give me 10 seconds. Okay, we have some more. That's actually one of my favorite Stephen King books, but I read this one It's just taking up space. I'm not going to reread it, but it's one of my favorite Stephen King books, and someone else can enjoy this book. It's very, very good in my opinion. It's brilliant. Another book I haven't read, but yeah, this is the first book in a Stephen King like crime thriller ish. I don't think I'm going to read any of his like crime work, so yeah, I'll unhold this, and I bought it in a charity shop. Let me find one more book before I wrap up the stream, because I feel like we made good progress. I have like 20 books, 30 books that are all gone. But one more book. Can I do one more book? Okay, I can see one book. I love this book, but I already own this in hardcover, signed. I actually met Rebecca Kwong a year ago. She's lovely. I have a vlog if you want to see my experience meeting Rebecca Kwong. But I already own these in hardbacks and signed. I don't need 2 copies. And brilliant book. This is also, yeah, getting unhauled. And should I find another book? I'm very, very happy with the progress. Let me have a look. Yeah, I think for now, I do have an art of Wolf Song by TJ Klune, which is a book I actually DNF'd. I don't know, there's something about arcs. Like, I don't want to sell them, obviously, because you're not supposed to sell them, so I don't sell my arcs. But should I unhaul it? If I don't know, I'll keep it for now. I'll keep it for now. And yeah, definitely. I'm gonna find place for this one. The books I wanted to get on my shelf. I'm so afraid. If you were at the beginning, you saw me drop this book. I'm gonna get space for this one as well, and this one. This is one I dropped. You can't see anything, right? I mean, it does have a very, very small crease, but unless if you like really, really look for it, you can't see it. So yeah, if you just joined now, find the spot where I dropped the book. It was painful. And we have this one that's also getting on my shelf now, and the book I'm most excited about, The Heroes by Joe Abercrombie, with these beautiful spread edges. And yeah, let me see if I can. I'll see if I can move my camera a bit. Yeah, you can see some of the books. Sorry, now I moved my camera. That wasn't very smart, was it? Okay, it's gotta do. You can see this. I think there's like 30 books on the floor, literally. So I think I should get a reward. My reward should go and buy more books. Like, that would be typical me. And yeah, I'll see if I can sell any of these. I'm very, very happy about this. Getting more shelf space. Maybe I'll need to buy more shelves. So yeah, I'm going to read your last comments, and then we're going to wrap up the stream. I can't believe we had 60, 70 people here. That's mad. Like, I expected 10 or 20 because it's just so spontaneous. And okay, let me see. Yeah, so I did ask people to recommend Nick books who are easily overwhelmed. Epic fantasy. Someone recommended King Killer Chronicle. A series I haven't read only because it's unfinished. Will definitely happen one day. Let me see. Only Malti self-promoting, but it was asked and answered. As someone who's looking to unhaul one of my broken binding books, what is the resale value of them? If you just go to eBay, search up the book, and just go for sold books, you'll see what the most recent sale was on it, and they'll give you a pretty good value. There's also Facebook groups where you can sell them. Thank you so much. And tell us your favorite character in King Killer Chronicles 4. I haven't read it. Only because it's unfinished. I know I'm gonna love that series. And if book 3 never comes out, then I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. But yeah. Have you ever tried Ember and Ashes by? I haven't. Haven't heard many people talk about it in the adult fantasy sphere, so maybe. Yeah, people talk about Bound and Broken. It's very, very epic. When you come to book 2 and 3, it's not easy to follow along, I think, for a newcomer. First book could be a bit not too bad, but War and Ruin is just like 8, 9 POVs. It gets intense. almost choked on the tea with this reveal. Oh, should have grabbed it. I mean, if you just joined, people laughed at this. The Danish version of Dune. Oh, the cover as well. I know it's horrible, isn't it? Do you think that King Killer? Yeah, well, I'm getting a lot of King Killer Chronicles questions now. As I said, it's probably the most famous adult fantasy series I haven't read is probably King Killer Chronicles, which I'm gonna read. But yeah, thanks, Joe. I'll check it out as well. Hitting the Stephen King now. Why doing? Oh, I just have too many books, and I still have like 20 Stephen King books on my shelves. They're hidden down here, but I have a lot of Stephen King books, and that Zone is so good. Mr. Mercedes is really good. Yeah, I might. The thing is, like Stephen King books are very, very cheap secondhand. So if I ever get in the mood, I'll just buy it secondhand. But for now, I just need the space. Oh, thank you for glad that I'm one of your favorite channels. Are you gonna give Melissa a second chance? It would be my third chance if I picked it up now. Question is maybe, but for now, no. Yeah, I need to read something else. Kwang is an author who's absolutely not for me. Bit to preach for me personally. Yeah, it's interesting because yeah, when I met her, she had a lecture at Oxford. I'm not gonna get all the way into what she was talking about. She's very smart, but basically her philosophy is that authors should be preachy. They should be very transparent about what they believe is right or wrong. And you can definitely see, like, even though, like, I don't want to say I disagree because I haven't read Yellowface, but yeah, she is very much in your face with her message, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, she is maybe a bit too preachy for some people. I totally get that. I'm a Stephen King. I'm a Stephen King fan too, but unhauling some of my least favorite titles. Yeah, and do you have two copies of? I have three. I have the ARC copy of the first binding. I have the Goldspur edition and the Bergen binding edition. And well, I bought those two. I really enjoyed it. And people sometimes get very mad when they hear that I read first binding before I have read King Kill Chronicles, which I don't blame you guys. Apparently, they're very, very similar. I really enjoyed the first binding, and people sometimes get angry about that. But I haven't read King Kill Chronicles, so I'm not able to say how similar they are. And I will read King Kill Chronicles one day. So don't worry if you're having a meltdown about me not having read it. I will read it one day. I'm hoping that book three will get a release date or something before. But yeah, we'll see. And you, Daniel Murphy, and Mike's book review are my favorite booktubers. Thank you. That is some huge names to be associated with. And if you are here, 65 people, Mike is coming on my channel. Stay tuned. That's all I'm saying. Stay tuned, but he's coming on my channel soon. You read an impressive amounts of prose. Why do you think realist prose is not popular genre? Almost jokingly, I hope, not as popular as. I'm not really sure what you mean by realist prose. So yeah, and I'm gonna end the stream soon, but yeah, sorry about that. What 10 books do people need to read before they die? I don't know. That's a big question. When it comes to fantasy, Lord of the Rings probably. And do you like the Wheel of Time series? Books are so much better. Okay, I have read all the Wheel of Time books. I'm a huge fan of Wheel of Time. I made many videos already. Can I just say, season 2 is not faithful at all. So I did tweet this. Is season 2 faithful to the books? No. Did I wish it was more faithful? No. Did I still have a reasonably good time watching the series? Yes. It hurts my heart a bit that they're so different from the books. But after watching season 1, I just came to a place that this is a different turn of the wheel, and I'm just glad that it exists, I suppose. I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as people say. It's not perfect by any means, but I'm not gonna hate on it. My wife and I watched it, and yeah, I mean, it has its issues, but overall, like we really enjoyed it, and it has some great moments. So, crucify me all you want. I'm not saying it's the best thing ever, but I'm not. It's also not as bad as people say it is. If that makes any sense. Mike crossover, yes, Mike's book review. He's coming on my channel. I'll probably make a post tomorrow about this. I had Patrick Lee on and he reacted to unpopular opinions, and we're gonna have Mike on, and we're gonna have him doing the same thing. I mean, no magic, no romance, real life situations. I mean, we have a genre called magical realism, which is fantasy, but the fantastical elements are very, very light. So that is quite popular. Um, People doing real things. I mean, bibliographies are popular. Okay, last comment of the day. Thanks for your time, Johan. Always fun to listen and get your insights and spend money. Thanks to your recommendations and hauls. Well, that is probably the highest compliment I can get is when people pick up books because of my recommendations, and even more if they actually love them. So yeah, those are. Thank you so much for joining. I can't believe you had I had like 60 or 70 people. I'm gonna plug it again. Viking Book Club. We're gonna read this book for the whole month. So if you want to join my Discord server. There's still time, and you can start any time of this month. And then next month, yeah, if you want to join us, you can check out my Patreon. Absolutely voluntary, but yeah, I think it's going to be a great community there as well. But everything else is obviously going to be absolutely free. So 100% voluntary. Thank you so much for joining. You literally made this such a lovely, lovely time. You got to see the new lights I have behind. Wait. Okay, before I finish, let me show you guys. I'm like a small child here. Let me see if I can get this connect. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that wasn't perfect. It's red, and now I can change the lights from my phone. We have yellow. Does it work? There we have it. Yellow, blue, purple. What is white? And we can go crazy, I think. See? Oh, look at that. Yeah, very cool. It definitely looks a bit nicer. I still need to get something on the wall. If you have any recommendations, let me know. What should go on this wall? I think like a nice poster. I'll probably remove those hanging lights here. That is the remote for the lights, but it definitely does not look nice. So I'll remove that. But yeah, thank you so much. More shelves. We need more shelves. Could add like a kind of shelf here, but that would block the other books. I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much. Perfect for spooky season. The purple one is perfect. I know. Let me just try that again. What color? Oh, look at this. Okay, purple. What do you guys think? That's quite nice. So did I have blue on? So this is the blue. I think that looks quite nice. Purple. If anyone's joining now, they're just like, what is this stream? It's just changing the colors of the LED lights. And you can also like change the brightness. This goes, it's still on. You can see it there, but it's just this is like 50%, and this is like 100%. Yeah, so it's quite cool. I'm very happy with this. And okay, I know I keep saying this, but literally the money from patrons has also paid for these lights. So all of the money I get from Patreon, I reinvest it. And yeah, really appreciate you guys. I don't have the banner anymore. You know who you are. Thank you so much for supporting me. And thank you so much for everyone for watching. And yeah, I have a new video coming up on Thursday or Friday. So stay tuned. Thank you for making this such a fun evening. And if you want to buy any of these books that I showed, I'm not going to buy the paper, sell the paperbacks and stuff, but some of these sign numbered. You can always message me on Instagram. I'll try to get back to you. No promises. But yeah, thank you so much, and God bless.